What the topic really about is to applying the quality operating system in a multinational corporation to achieve the cost of quality improvement. Okay. Yeah. So a quick introduction about myself. I'm been with ASQ for quite a long time. I'm a CQE, CMQOE, CSSBB. I'm also a Lean Bronze and Lean Silver from SME, AME, and Shingo Institute. Previously, I'm the ASQ Shanghai local membership community communication chair and vice chair. Yeah, so we do a lot of learning, grow and share stuff, do the similar things that we are doing now in Arbor section. And then previously, I've been working in manufacturing and healthcare industries as quality leader, ops leader, and P&L owner. Currently, I'm working in IP International Corporate Office as the QA Senior Director. So I'm reporting to the CEO and the founder of the company. Just a very quick one to introduce the company about IP. So we are a corporation that we do a lot of stuff, including the tooling design and fabrication, molding, stamping, CNC, and all those secondary processes. We also do the assembly and SMT. So our products ranging from consumer electronics, home appliances, personal care, and automotive and service. Our sites are, majority of them are in China, but we also have overseas sites. So in China, we have Shanghai, Nantong, Suzhou, Chengdu, Xiamen. And then in the overseas, we have Singapore, US, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and India. So here we have a lot of major customers. I believe you guys all recognize. This company was established in 1980, started from the insert molding and metal forming tool maker. And our employees are 23,000 global-wise. We have 17 manufacturing sites, 4 ESI offices, 1 R&D center, and then the 1 global process development center. Total space is 480,000 above square meters. And the machines, we have a lot of machines, including molding, CNC stampings. The size of the revenue in last year was 1.5 billion USD. So before the happy crowd, actually what happens in 2022 and 2023, we are engaging a lot of severe critical customer complaints, and some of the major customers are threatening to pull out the business from us because of our poor performances. And then, so starting the end of the 2023, after we corrected all those faults and issues, I'm thinking of, relaunch our quality culture. And then the topics of back to basic started popping into my mind. And then I think, I need to do something different. So in the cloud, in the picture you see, I actually invited the corporate operations VP, business unit VP, all those function directors, quality managers, and site general managers into the sections. We are here. We are in the Shanghai offices, face to face, and also there are a lot of attendees from the online. So I organized the quality conference, in which I also invited Dr. J to be one of the presenter to talk about quality operating system. Yeah, so this is the topic Dr. J shared in our quality conference. The topic is refocus on quality culture and quality operating system. I believe most of you know Dr. J. He's a fellow of ASQ. He's a fellow of the Society of Automotive Engineers International, and he's also the former VP of Ford Asia Pacific. So I just grabbed, with the permission of Dr. J, I grabbed the basic concept from the quality operating system that Dr. J mentioned. So instead of reinvent the wheel, I just directly apply the concept and framework from Dr. J's quality operating system, which includes the data and information, the team structure, the meeting schedule, and the processes and tools. So I just want to give everyone a very brief idea of the complexity of our company and businesses. So just take one site in Shanghai as example. We are facing 72 customers sites. So 60 in China and 12 global-wise. And we have many sites like Shanghai that are dealing with multiple customers like this kind of scale. So together with the quality managers, we developed our 2024 and 2025 corporate QA strategies towards the so-called the future quality. So we start from the people, process, and technology. On the people side, we will emphasize the quality first concept, develop the talents, strengthen the quality mindset and awareness. On the process-wise, we will refocus on the basics of quality culture, focus on the quality operating system, which is mentioned by Dr. J, and systematically implement and optimize the usage of quality tools so that we can summarize and proliferate among the sites. On the technology-wise, we will set up the quality management system in terms of the digitalization and the smart manufacturing. While the strategy looks okay, but the real thing is when we talk to the owners of the company or the management, we need to change the language. Yeah, so we use the cost of quality, right? We are all familiar with the concept of cost of quality, but when we talk in dollars, the general managers, the VPs, the CEOs will be more interested. So we set up our goal on the cost of quality. And then here, what I'm going to share next is on the basic elements of the quality operating system. We have done a lot of stuff, and I'm choosing some of the examples which are quite significant and representative so that we can understand how that brings the value and then improve the cost of quality. First, I'm going to talk about the data and information. I'm using one example is the MES audit. We know that when the garbage in, garbage will out, right? So all the system, we should not directly trust the information and data that is presented to us unless we have a full understanding and comprehension on how it is collected and is it real, right? So we initiated this MES system audit together with the corporate IT and operations. We just decided the approach is to look into the data flow and then the functionalities that we originally designed in the blueprint, and then compare all the system flow and procedures that is written, and then to see where is the gap. We see a lot of discrepancies, like more than 5% of the transactions got variances, and then 3% of the equipment's data collection is abnormal, meaning they're either offline or they are not getting the correct numbers. The functionalities, they meet 100% with the blueprint, while around 5% of the functions are not effectively used. It can be, people not trained. It can be the functions no longer needed, right? So we see these issues and then we take countermeasures. We developed the procedures to standardize the data collection and the equipment purchase and lease, so that we, all the, in our manufacturing world, the business will have fluctuations. So sometimes we will lease or purchase new equipments. So we need to set up the standard instead of bringing new machines while they're not capable of providing data to the MES system. Right? We also enhanced the functions to ensure it meets the operations need. So it should be ongoing basis, or regularly, rigidly looking to the need of the operations, daily operations, and then the functions need to be improved. This idea and this approach is also proliferated into the PLM system and the QMS system development and maintenance. So by doing this example, what the management team has realized that we don't just directly put in system that hope the system can generate the information data we need, right? And then the second question on the data and the information is, can we use, when we have the reliable data, can we make better use of the data, right? So in our world of molding and stamping and CNC, we have the parameter settings in the machine, which we are collecting right now with the MES system. But what about those parameters that machine cannot detect, like the real temperature inside the tooling, right? And then those kind of sensors, need to be purchased and then installed. And then when we collect all those information, what are we going to do about it? So together with one of the key customer, we developed our roadmap. We call that molding 4.0, which is just get the data acquisition. And then the molding 5.0 is to train those data with AI. And then finally, we want to control the device. As you can see here, when the AI tell us, okay, based on the data we collected, this one is NG, and then it will be automatically rejected or accepted. So this one, we have a clear roadmap, and we are doing that right now. We are in this stage, the training of the data, and we have multiple projects ongoing. Is to really use of the data with the the recent new concept of the machine learning AI stuff. We are trying different vendors so that we can better use of the data and then make the decision, and then this will contribute the reduction of the quality cost. On the team structure wise, there are also a couple of topics. One topic is the dotted line versus the direct line reporting. Previously, all the quality managers of all sites, they report directly into the local site GMs. I mean, that should be okay because the GMs, they own the P&L. They are the owner of, they have the KPIs of SQDC, right? So I believe there's no only correct answer. Is it whether they should be dotted line or direct line, right? In different companies, we have different practices. So I have been working with those ops VPs, and then we decided the principle. So those costs directly managed by the site GM, which they own the P&L, right? So all the costs, they are the first liner to manage. And functionally, it reports into me, the corporate QA. So I'll be, working on the talent development, the performance appraisal to ensure the quality decisions are independent. Because if they are not independent, then they might, allow, the false decisions, which will result in critical customer complaints. And then, we also need to set up the elite task force to support sites in crisis or need support. So I actually work with the site GMs and then the operations VPs, and then we decided those team members one by one, and that changes the behavior, compared with previous kind of pattern. The second interesting point is should it be BU based or site based? Previously, we have always two site quality managers in the Greater China sites, like Shanghai, Nantong, and Suzhou, because they have two business units. So afterwards, when we look into the business needs and then the issue we are facing, we decided to consolidate the organization, which enabled the resource optimization and the transfer project success. So the background is that I believe a lot of you are aware that a lot of major customers or players, they are moving their operations or business into Malaysia, Vietnam, those South Asia solutions. Not only just leave China, but it's a combination of China plus one or plus two, right? So we are also having the needs to move the projects out to our operations, our factories in Malaysia and Vietnam. And then we will face issues. The first one is resource, right? In IP, we define the execution foundation into four elements. The top one is staffing and organization. Number two is system flow and procedures. Number three is KPIs, and number four is the culture. So if we don't have the correct resource, correct staff, the business will not be successful. And true enough, if we don't put in the right people, we will face issues on those transfer projects. While we are merging those, quality managers in the Greater China, I have additional resources to actually support those sites, especially for the Malaysia, Vietnam, those sites. And then we have proven records that this method is working. On the number three element, the meeting schedule, we actually separate into top and down. So all the levels under each site, it can be plant, can be customer focused team, all levels, all areas. We are looking into the risk highlights so that the reaction cycle is very fast. So in terms of the supplier side, factory side, and customer side, whether this is MPI or MP phase, we have the risk highlight mechanism, which is on weekly basis, and those critical issues will directly highlight into me. And then I have a monthly quality report with the CEO, but I will weekly actually highlight to my CEO and founder of the corporation on weekly basis. By executing those meeting schedules, the issues are quickly highlighted, and then we will allocate the right resources to solve the issue, and then we always look into the system level. How do we prevent in the corporation wise, not only just factory or project wise? On the processes and tools, one of the major thing we did is on the quality management framework kind of proliferating. So Shanghai is one of the leading site in the IP Corporation. Together with those quality managers, we developed the framework. So we start from the cost of quality. We analyze the current stage, right? What are the contributors? And we always found that almost 80 to 90% is staffing and rework cost. So after that, we will identify the 2024 project key issues, which is known, and then we will predict the cost of quality element and key positions we need so that we can make sure we can improve the cost of quality. And then we will plan the 2024 site level of cost of quality and project management, make it into a project plan. to follow up. So all the site QMs are following this management framework, aligned with review with their site GMs, and then roll out. By doing so, those, especially those immature sites or new sites, they learn how to look into the quality management holistically, and then our language is united. There are also a lot of challenges for a company like us to roll out the cost of quality improvement or a quality operating system rollout, especially for those sites on the talent and the capabilities. So for Vietnam, we see great gap on the communication. My task force are mainly Mandarin speaking or English speaking. We don't have people who can speak Vietnamese, right? And then for Vietnam people, they used to learn French, English, and now I'm seeing a trend to learn more of the Mandarin or Chinese. So this is just one gap. And then the other one is short of the capable talent. So, Vietnam's population, total population, is about 1/10 of China. While their land is, if you look at the map, right, they're short, like a long kind of a bar, right, from south to north. And so their industrial park is always located in the area like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City nearby, right? So those people, most of them are not willing to travel like us, right? We travel from Shanghai to Suzhou. We can work in this way, dual city life, but they don't. They always work nearby, right? So we are facing significant issue short of capable talent, which on the other side, a lot of companies, they are moving their operations into Vietnam, right? So we have more people, to jump into the market and to grab the task force they need. And then, the price of the talent is increasing, and then there are less people available. It's quite an active talent market. So take the real life example in Vietnam. In 2022 and 2023, I have recruited the quality manager in Vietnam, which is local, and their team members. I also recruited like more than 12 people, and only 3 to 4 is still remaining with us. So you can think about it. It's really very active. So we have to change, accordingly. We have to think radically, right? So this is for Vietnam. I'm going to talk about how we take countermeasures later. For Malaysia, there's also language barriers, right? So yes, we do have people who speak English, but most of the quality engineers and quality managers, they're Mandarin speakers, right? We also have the cultural differences. In Malaysia, the Muslim, they have every day they have 5 times to pray, right? We need to know that. We need to respect that, right? And the food they take are different. We cannot just provide one type of food, right? And similarly, we are also short of talent in Malaysia. I've been recruiting the quality managers in Malaysia for 2 years, and there are a lot of resumes available, but the one who really can work with us, is very, very minimum, right? So I mean, as of today, I still don't have a qualified quality manager in Malaysia. So we have to take some different approaches. So on the communication gap, we are promoting the usage of Mandarin in the Vietnam factory. So we identified some of the key players. So they are also learning Mandarins, and then we encourage them to speak more and use more of the Mandarins. On the other side, because we are short of capable talent, so like other big players like Foxconn, Gore-Tex, we are pulling resources from mainland China. One of the reasons is that our customers, the site we are providing our products, their contact window are also Chinese from the mainland. So it makes sense for the recent years that our major contact window should be Mandarin speakers. So I pull in those people, the good players from the mainland China, to solve the issue. And meanwhile, we are also developing the local talents. So those people, those local Vietnamese, three people with us, they're improving, and then they get promoted, and then we are also acquiring new task force. For Malaysia, we are choosing the right candidate because of the previously, we have consolidated the site quality organizations. So now I freed out quite a lot of resources, so we can choose the right candidate to support Malaysia. So as of today, I'm sending troops to Malaysia sites since they don't have a qualified quality manager, right? And then for the cultural differences, we have to learn and respect. Similarly, in Vietnam and in Malaysia, when I firstly look into the site 2-3 years ago, I found that, oh yeah, we have so many cultural differences and language issues. I write a small article to the CEO, to the Ops VP, and the site GMs. These are the key points we need to be noticed, including the language barrier, including the cultural differences, including the way they think, right? We don't think they are, the people in mainland China. We can just directly ask them to do things without looking into the cultural differences and language barriers. Just like, when we speak in English, right? This is second language, so we are not so fluent. And then if we just know those people, when the customer asks questions, if we don't really understand, a lot of local Chinese will say yes, but they're not really getting it, right? So we need to understand those things will happen, and then make sure the communication, there is no gap in communication. So when I look back, the journey is still ongoing, right? But when I look back, the 1 year since the sharing from Dr. J in the January last year, the cost of quality year-over-year improvement reaches about 20%. So 2024 versus 2023, we are improved by 20%. But still, I mean, we are not there yet, right? Which later I'm going to touch about. And then the other good thing is that we have enhanced our elite team because of the activities we have done, because of the consolidations and the identification of those key players, right? So we have enhanced our elite team. Instead of 2022 and 2023, we don't have a lot of available task force, special task force. Now we have more than 4 key players at senior manager level, director level, and then more than 10 people who are managers level, and then countless engineers who are elite level. And then for the last year, there's no critical customer complaints. I mean, there are quality issues, right? We are getting rejects, but there's no critical complaints which will result in significant rework or compensations or fines, which really makes a great differences compared with the year 2023 and 2022. Major customers are, majority of them are happy. We are getting a lot of quality awards, the senior level kind of appreciations. This is really quite different with previous years. And on the data side, we can see the DPPM from the customer end is really improved by 10%. But still, we need to look forward. The COQ current level of the corporation is about 2.32%, meaning the total cost of quality versus the revenue. I don't think this is a great number, right? We should be looking to a COQ less than 1, right? Single digit or even less, right? So we still need to continue to improve. The conventional, traditional way of downsizing the people is not enough. We need to look into more technology, into more inspection reductions, into the design improvement, right? And then looking forward, the overseas sites are still remaining challenging, like Vietnam, Malaysia, like India. They are still remaining very challenging. And then I'm going to continue to fine-tune and improve the QMS platform and better use of the data, so that will also contribute the COQ reduction because of the better failure analysis and the way we think and gather around. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much I want to share with you guys today. This is the real life kind of examples. We are still moving ahead, but there are a lot of challenges, and we believe with the method of a quality operating system, as long as we practice and practice and practice, we will get what we want to get. So I'm stopping here and waiting for questions.
Yep, that's wonderful timing. We had one question in the chat from Vishwas Patel, and I can unmute you if I can find you here, but the question is, have you considered using AI-driven language models / systems for training materials to resolve language barriers while ensuring consistent training across multinational sites? So that's a question. And then,
yeah.
And then the follow-up would be, if yes, how would you go about implementing?
Yeah. So what we are doing now, I mean, I don't really see a significant kind of a result yet, but we are doing that. Is we have a lot of tools in the AI models which can do the instant translation. There is also applicable products available which the Vietnam site quality manager already purchased. So it can help, but I'm still not seeing great differences yet. It can help, but well, I think we should still continue to see what is going to happen moving forward. Probably we are not choosing the correct product yet, but yes. So like for the corporate meetings, right? When the other sides they don't speak good Mandarins, we do use the AI instant translation tools available, right? It helps, but certain times when we go into very specific kind of wording or terminologies, it doesn't really translate well. But yes, it's 90%, 95% accuracy is already good enough. Yeah.
I have a question. 2 years to find a qualified quality manager in Malaysia. What are the hurdles you are having in hiring qualified manager?
Yeah, so the hurdle is that first one is the relevant experiences. So I found that like 20 years ago, when China is emerging, and then a lot of experts from Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, they go into China. We see, wow, they are really professionals. And then because of the operations, they move to China a lot. And then during those years until now, I believe in the Malaysia side, Malaysia as a country, they don't have a lot of kind of factories and condensed kind of experiences. So I don't see a lot of relevant people in terms of the molding, the assembly sites. We do see a lot of resume. We see a couple of resumes qualified, but when we go into the interview, we see that the reactions and then the understanding of what they are doing now is relatively immature, what I'm going to say. And then afterwards, some of the players I recruited, I think the second barrier is the system flow and the cultural kind of adaptations. And they are sometimes they cannot survive with the stress level of the manufacturing world that we are facing, right? So it's really I believe it's a two-sided issue. One is the candidate itself, the other one is the culture of the company itself, right? So we are also adapting, trying to lower the bar and then trying to make sure they can be better chance of surviving. But this is what really happened in these 2 years. We recruited some of the players, but they don't stay long enough. Um, Part of the reason is the stress level. Part of the reason is the candidate capability itself.
Don, this is Jie. Can I make a couple of comments and a question?
Absolutely.
Okay. First, Ting, it's a fantastic presentation. I can see I can see you spend a lot of time to prepare, or I can see you didn't spend the time to prepare because basically this is your work. And really, really happy to see you you brought the quality operating system we discussed the last year ago, and to the practice, to the life, and then implemented globally at all of the sites and the different regions. It's very, and I know it's very, very complicated, very challenge. In terms of the challenge you had, and you're having in the two countries, just mentioned as an example. When I was in the working the region, it's the same thing. I recognize that people, the mobility, they don't move from one city to another city. They just like comfortable in the place they were born and raised, and then families to there. And then when the more demand required in the technical, the people or quality operators, whatever quality discipline, then university just not fast enough to produce those, undergraduate or graduate and so forth. So I think that's part of the reason. But anyway, so as progress moving along, I think there's lots of coming to the Malaysia and to Vietnam, right? Then the university and the College of Engineering and so forth will produce more students and then get into the workforce. Ting, let me ask, if I recall, your company's headquarters over Singapore, right? Is that correct?
We have the dual headquarters. Yes, the main headquarters is in Singapore, and we also have a headquarters in Shanghai.
Okay, thank you. Yes, really, really great, great work and the excellent presentation. So I don't have other comments or the questions. I leave the time to other people.
Yeah, that's we had those two questions about the hiring and the AI language models, whether you've tried that. I've scanned the whole chat. We still have 42 people on the line. I think we're up to almost 50 at one point, which is about what we had registered. So that was pretty good retention, Tang Pan. So,
Yeah.
is there anything else from the audience? Going once? See Laura Chan's on. She was one of our officers. Nope. I think we are good. Thank you so much for doing this. I absolutely realize what the time difference is and made a very early start to what's going to be a long day probably for you. So
Yeah. Yeah, 13 hours difference there. So yeah, pretty, yes, appreciate it.
yeah.
No, but really honored, and really thank you, Don and Jay, and
Oh.
everyone. Yes. So especially for Jay, you know, not only just one sharing in the quality conference, but also, you know, when he come back to China, he visited our Nantong site and gave a free speech for our general managers and the HODs in Nantong site as well. So really appreciate, you know, Jay's passion on quality. And we are still learning, and we are still progressing.
Okay. Yeah, somebody asked me about the recording. I will stop the recording and I'll record this. WebEx does a recording, and there's a link that's accessible to people that attended and others. The thing that I've got to figure out as the arrangements chair, ASQ decided to let WebEx get rid of all of our recordings for last year. So I've got to find a place of permanence since we're on WebEx and we're using the WebEx facility that ASQ makes us use. That's how I've recorded it. So I don't know if there's a way to transport that file or put it out to YouTube. I'm too old. I need a youngster to help me with that. So maybe we'll figure that out. Our webmaster or something. So got a lot of thank yous. One is about the recording. Thank you for allowing me join. It's going to be on YouTube. Interesting and timely topic. So lots of kudos. Thank you, Ping Pong. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to stop recording, and if I get a PDF of your slides in the next few days, I'll send that out with the RUs.
Yeah, I will send you today. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, recording is